Welcome to Surfaces and Splines, a series of SolidWorks video tutorials presented by the DiMonte Group. My name is Andrew Lowe. I'm an industrial designer with the DiMonte Group. Surfaces and Splines, we take a look at the production modeling of this 18-volt work flashlight, where we ensure correct tooling-ready geometry and parting or correct draft of the parting line for injection molding. This week we'll be taking a look at detailing the top of the flashlight. So the top of the flashlight is detailed in the same way as the base of the flashlight. We're going to create a solid body and then sculpt it with cuts and surface features. So here I have this solid body, and it was created with simply extrude from the front plane. I did add a draft feature on this bottom edge, and I'm able to shape the top with a cut. I can shape the front with another cut. So where possible, I'm just trying to use the solid features. Finally, because I can't really cut along this edge and this edge, sweep gives an unpredictable result along this edge, so that's how I use a boundary surface. Direction 2 are these two edges, grabbed with the selection manager, and direction 1 is a sketch. So once I've built the surface, I can use a surface cut to cut with that surface, and a body delete to keep my tree clean. I'll use a chamfer to break that top edge. And here I have to use a replace face with a surface extrude because my body can't be cut. There's no material there to cut, so the replace face will add material. And I find using the replace face here is easier than trying to use a solid extrude because when we add that solid extrude we have to come back and then cut all this extra material away. So the replace face is a great time saver there. Here I'm adding this fillet, and fillets have to be added one at a time because I'm using the face fillet tool with the curvature continuous option. I can only build one fillet at a time with the face fillet. Now I'm going to create this top portion, or this top kind of shape. That's a kind of chamfered shape that runs off along this face, and I've just created a rectangular block extruded up from this plane, and I haven't merged the body. The reason being is it's going to be easier for me to sculpt this shape with it not merged into the gray body. So I have a draft on that front face, I'm drafting this bottom face, and then coming in and drafting the bottom face of the orange block, so that way everything lines up. With the body not merged, it's really easy for me to create a cut here. I don't have to worry about up to surface. I can just let that cut go all the way through the body. Now I'm going to have to build a chamfer, so I have created a draft reference surface here. The rear surface is created of the chamfer is created in the same way as the front chamfer on the bottom. I have a curve or sketch here that I projected onto this face with the projected curve command, and now I have a new curve and this edge. So I can create a boundary surface between these two. Looks like the surface wasn't quite long enough, so I used surface extend. I just grabbed that edge. The distance here really is arbitrary. I'm just making sure that surface fully passes through the solid orange body. And with the surface extended, I can use surface cut to cut that rear chamfer. Side chamfer is a little easier because it doesn't have to follow this curved profile. I can simply grab this edge with an angle and build that chamfer. Clean up those surfaces, and now all that's left is creating this corner fillet, and it's going to be built in the exact same way we built the fillet on the bottom half. I'm using split line to generate this edge, split line to generate this edge, delete face to remove those faces from the model and create a surface body from a solid body, using a surface trim to trim out this shape here. Likewise, a surface trim to trim this edge into the orange shape. And now that I have my four-sided perimeter for my fillet blend, use a boundary surface between this edge and this edge. Note that I had to increase the curvature or tangent influence from 0 to 100. We zoom in closely here, we'll see there's actually an inflection where the curve is changing direction on itself. We don't want to have any lines that are below this curve. So to eliminate that inflection, increase the tangent slider to 100. We can kind of ignore all these undulations in the green profiles. Because this surface is flat, any tiny little wavering that is imperceptible will actually be magnified because SolidWorks is using just kind of a scale here. So the surface is for all intents and purposes flat, so we can ignore those combs in direction 1. So now that I've built that filleted blend, I'll knit it into the model with surface knit. That try to form solid gives me that solid body. And finally, I can use the combine tool to put the two halves back together. And using multi-body modeling, I was able to quickly detail this shape. Versus if this was all combined into one, it might have taken me a lot longer when I was trying to work out what these edges might be. So the top shapes created as a separate body, shaped with that boundary surface and surface cut, parting line draft, and then using the split tool to define a boundary for that fillet and completing it with a boundary surface. So thanks for watching this week's installment. Please follow the DiMonte group on LinkedIn, where we'll be announcing new videos.